behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover 'em first with Paul Mash TV. Paul Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. Another great interview is coming up in just a moment. But before we begin, don't forget about the subscribe and bell buttons if you haven't done that already. And you're always going to be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And leave a comment on the comment section below if you like. We'd love to hear from you. And the description part, as well as the closing credits, will have contact info for you. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Henry, Tennessee, we have Rick Revel. This is about the third time he's been on our show. And he's got some great updates for us, and I know you want to check those out. And we'll get to that in a second, but first, here's a commercial from the Caden Gordon Show. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us for the third time on our show from Henry, Tennessee, we have Rick Revel. Thanks for joining us, Rick.
Good to be here, Paul. It's always nice. It's about my third time to visit with you, and you look back on your history. This is almost an anniversary for us.
I think today is about 2 or 3 years ago. I did you for the first time, and I thought that was interesting when I saw that. So,
it is.
So it's always good to have you back on the show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things that's been going on since last time? I mean, I'm sure everyone would love to hear that.
Well, it's kind of cool. We've actually, the album we were working on then, we were in the fledgling stages of it, and we've got it completed. The Muscle Shoals sound is now a completed album, and we've released several singles from the album, and all have done real well thus far. The single that we're working with right now is called Singing River. And Singing River is actually comes from that area. It's kind of interesting, Paul, when every time I go down there, especially newcomers to Muscle Shoals, I listen. I'm kind of like a fly on the wall. I'll listen real close to what people have to say, and that helps me in my writing and everything. So it just listening to other people's observations, it always helps, gives you a little broader depth of how to write and what to think and what to say. And so I always listen, and they always say, well, what is it about Muscle Shoals that makes it different? Because Muscle Shoals is, a lot of people, it's overlooked. Nashville, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, LA, New York, they're thought to be, recording capitals. Most people don't think of Muscle Shoals as a recording capital. And during their heyday, they were outdoing all of them combined. So much so that Motown, they decided to move and put a recording studio there so they could capture that sound. We have the Rolling Stones coming from England to capture that sound. They hear that sound coming from there. And so people from all over the world began to come to Muscle Shoals to record. Aretha Franklin came down from Motown to record, and she had her first hits cut at Fame Studios. So, I grew up hearing Muscle Shoals music and wanted to do the same. And being as I had done all my work in Nashville and some in Memphis, but I wanted to do something different. So as I hung out, I kept hearing people say, what is it about Muscle Shoals that makes it different? And one of the gentlemen that was in they did a documentary about Muscle Shoals, and his comment was, it's in the water. And the Swampers, which started out at Fame Studio, Jimmy Johnson and the boys, they were the Muscle Shoals rhythm section. And that was their title in the beginning. And they had a Muscle Shoals brass section, wind section. So they had two different groups that captured that title. But when they branched off and started their own, they became known as the Swampers, because there's a huge swamp right off the Tennessee River down there. So they became known as the Swampers. So then they said it's in the swamp water. So that was kind of the local legend. It's in the water. It's in the water. And the more I began to look at the local history, I'm a huge history buff and history nut. So the Singing River passes through there. The Cherokee named the Tennessee River originally the Tennessee. That's where it got its name. It was the Tennessee, as they called it, spelt with an A instead of an E, but when we translate into English, it comes out as Tennessee. But in their definition, the word Tennessee meant singing river. And as they would stand on the banks of the river, they would hear the water rushing around the bend, and they felt it was singing to them. And there's times that I've literally done that. And in my music video, I stand on the bank or the shore of the Tennessee, and I'm letting the water flow back and forth on the shore, on the bank, and it has that sound as it washes up amongst the rocks and the shells, the mussel shells and all. So I can see to why they would possibly call it the Singing River. And then to top it off, they would go there when they lose a loved one, when that somebody in their family or somebody they looked up to would pass away. They would go to mourn there and seek solace, some type of to try to purify their soul and to try to get the feeling better about losing that individual. So a lot of times you would see them go there to have their ceremonies, or individuals that go there to mourn their loved ones. And so as I kept storing up all this information about the Singing River, then people will ask, what is it about Muscle Shoals? I said, people say it's in the water, but it's the Singing River. The Singing River passes through here, and it has to be the Cherokee legend, that folklore of the Singing River. So much so, one of the local radio stations, WLAY, and the company that owns them is called Singing River Broadcast Company. So they attached to it. They're starting to do more around the Singing River down the area. So I thought, well, it's in the water, it's in the Singing River, so I want to write a song about it. So after one of my sessions, I was on my way home, and the song just kept boiling up in my spirit, and I wanted to definitely talk about the Native Americans and how it originated with them. But I began to reminisce, kind of jumping around a little bit. In 1977, I was working at Loretta Lynn's ranch. I was her entertainment manager at her dude ranch. And I was in the office that day in August, and something happened that day in August is when Elvis Presley died, and I heard it on the radio, and it just stunned me. It was like, because I'd always told Mama, which Loretta liked her people that worked for her, call her Mama, and she was like a mother to everybody. She was so nice, and she said if she ever got a chance and we were ever anywhere close to Elvis, she would introduce me. She was good about doing things like that. And he passes, and it just devastated me. So just a few months later, in October of 77, I'm driving down the road, not far from the Tennessee River. I'm driving down the road, and I get the news of the Skinner plane crash. And here's two times within, in the same year that I'm losing people that I looked up to and admired their music. And Leonard Skinner was at the top of my list when it comes to Southern rock bands. I have a lot of love for Southern rock and other groups, but that was at the top of my list. And I always wanted to meet Ronnie Van Zant and the boys in the band. And so get the news. And so it was a very mournful time for me. So I wanted to be able to bring that into the song and pay homage to them. And then the people that recorded them, Jimmy Johnson, and Barry Beckett, and then Rick Hall at Fame Studios. All these people are the ones that got the music going out of Muscle Shoals. So I thought, let's pay honor to them. So I rolled it all into one song. And so starts out talking about the Cherokee giving the name to the river. Then we talk about the plane crash, losing the members of the Skinner band, some of the members. And then we go into the third verse talking about losing our music heroes that got the genre going. And then it evolves and gets real serious. I make it personal. I bring it into the point to where when I lose loved ones, when I lost my mother and father, it became, I'll make it personal. And so as the song evolves, people will hear all these little nice nuggets of history and memorabilia and nostalgia, but then it becomes personal. And everybody that's ever listened to the song, as they really get into it, that's what they walk away from the song. They have that personal touch, that personal feeling that I'm not going to call it a sad song, but it's one that will speak to you. It's one that will grab you and make you think a little bit. And when you watch the music video, which is it's a standalone piece itself, we got a chance to shoot right at the on the Tennessee River within a block, literally a rock's throw of the Muscle Shoals sound recording studio, the second Muscle Shoals sound studio, right on the banks of the Tennessee River. So not only are we recording by the river, we're recording next to where history had been made in that studio. Bob Dylan cut there at that particular location. The first location is where the Stones cut, where Cher cut her. She was one of the first big artists to cut at the old location, what was called Jackson Highway. Mm-hmm. So I got a chance to be around where things had happened in the town. So it was special, the feeling that you get from it. And so when people watch the video, I've had people literally to start crying as they watch the video, because a lot of people are sad that we lost people like Skinner's band members and Jimmy Johnson and Rick Hall. And so from that standpoint, then they start thinking about their family members. It just goes from there. So in the music video, we actually, I have portraits of my parents and grandparents, and we hold them to the heavens. So we do the same thing that maybe the Cherokee would have done. Mm-hmm. And we end the video with that very, very thought and scene. I'm dressed in buckskin and I'm standing in a field of sage, and the Native Americans and several other tribes, like the Cherokee, with their ceremonial pipe, would blow the smoke to the four winds, the four corners, and to honor their spirits, the ones that have passed before them. So it's not just a country song, Americana song, blues song. It's a spiritual song too. It'll reach a lot of different genres, and this is a very unique song. So I appreciate you having me on today to kind of let people know about it. It's a special one. You need to definitely take a listen to Singing River.
Yeah, and in just a couple of minutes, we're going to play that for you guys. Do you have any concerts coming up you want to tell everybody about, or?
We've got one at Pound Gap, which is actually on the border of Virginia and Kentucky. So that's Eastern Kentucky and Western Virginia. So it's coming up in the middle of April. That one's coming up, and then we got some other things that we working on. We got a brand new project this is the 250th anniversary celebration of America. So we've got a song we're cutting on Tuesday. We're going back in the studio, Muscle Shoals, this coming Tuesday. And it's incredible. This next song is going to blow your mind. Can't tell too much about it yet, but hopefully I'll get a chance to come back and visit with you. And then we can tell you about that particular song. But it's, with the interest on history and nostalgia right now, it's kind of neat what's happening with the Muscle Shoals album project. A lot of people see the history that I've produced in song, and like the one about W.C. Handy and the actual title cut, Muscle Shoals Sound. People like that. That's part of what's happening, Paul. That's what's kind of missing in country music now, is the real storytelling. The Tom T. Halls of the day, they're dying off and they're going away. And so we don't have the real true storytellers. We have people that put out hit songs. They record hit songs, but they're not really telling deep stories. They're telling shallow stories. They're telling stories, but they're very shallow. Tom T. Hall, he was a storyteller when he did songs. And so that's what I want to do, is tell stories and things that get people to think. Oh, and one of the coolest things, I want to show you this for you. One of the coolest things, of course, in the opening video of Singing River, I'm driving a 1977 Chevy pickup truck. and owned by Joey Harris. And it was in itself has become kind of a star. But in the cab of the truck, I'm driving down the road, and you hear the radio broadcast of Skinner's plane crash. And, of course, I'm getting upset and sad about it. And I reach down into my case sitting next to me full of 8-track tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, you know, you have to be a certain age to know what an 8-track tape is. A lot of kids says, what in the world is that? So this has kind of become a hero, and I mean a star when its own rights, is this 8-track tape that's got Leonard Skinner on it. Because so many people that do know what it is, they say thank you for bringing that memory back of the old days when we had 8-track players in our cars and trucks. And then the kids go, what is that? You know, what is it? So a lot of people have focused in on this 8-track tape that I had in my hand driving down the road. So it's kind of cool. Nostalgia is a fun thing.
I remember the days of 8-track tapes myself. Yeah, that brings back a lot of memories there. So
Yep. And I had a Leonard Skinner tape, and you know, I listened to Skinner all the time driving down the road. So you know, there's a lot of people who love Skinner.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say, you know, you mentioned Tom T. Hall a minute ago, and
yep,
and I remember that about him. He was a great storyteller, like you said, and I remember that about him. So.
I met his son, Dean Hall, was more into blues. He loved his daddy to death. His daddy was good to him, and Dean loved his daddy, so like a son should. But he took the path of blues, so he really got into the blues thing, real hot and heavy on that. And but he was still a storyteller. You know, when Dean did his stuff, he took up like his daddy, but he was telling it through the blues genre. So it was nice to see him carrying that part of the heritage on. But I do miss that part. You know, Jerry Reed, Lord have mercy. That man could just play the strings off a guitar. But Amos Moses, look at that song. He told a story. And so I miss that with country music. I miss that with all types of music where they truly told stories. Edmund Fitzgerald is not a country song, but it's considered pop rock. Mm-hmm. It told a story. It was 6.5 minutes long. Too long for radio, but they still play it this very day. So there's still a place for songs that tell stories.
Yeah, I agree there. Before we go, can you tell everybody again how to find you? I know you have an official website. Tell everybody on social media, streaming media, and so forth. Oh,
you can find me everywhere. It's kind of cool. Back when I first got on the web, had my own website, it was kind of like you type in my name, and it's like, oh, I can't find me anywhere. But type in Rick Revel, R-E-V-E-L, Rick Revel, and if you want to put a .com on it, you'll find that website. I also have rickrevelmusic.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X, so you can find me most any place. Facebook is where I shine the most. I spend most of my time there, have the biggest following there, so I spend a lot of time on Facebook. So if you want to find me and friend me on Facebook, love to have you. We have a fan club, Rick Revel Fan Club site also. So if you'd like to be a part of that, we keep you up on where we're going to be, what our new projects are. So love to have you to be a part of it. We still try to put product out. So I've written books and I have CDs, and that's the only way we support ourselves. It's through merchandise. We're an independent artist. We do not have a major label behind us. So we don't sell it. We don't make a living. So thank you for those people that do purchase our music and our books and things, and that's what keeps us moving forward.
Yeah, I hear you, man. And like he said, check him out on all those areas, especially Facebook. I know he would love to hear from you. Yep. And we're going to play that video, Singing River, in just a moment. But Rick, thank you so much for coming back on the show. Yes, sir. Like you said, anytime you want to come back, go ahead and we'll have you back on again.
All right, brother. Bless you, sir. Good to be with you again, Paul.
Yeah, no problem. And here it is, Singing River by Rick Revel. It begins right now.
Super C22 formula, free for 2 weeks. Help you to sleep faster, stay asleep longer.
Record industry spokesman said this was one of the top 5 rock groups in the country, Leonard Skinner. The group took its name from a teacher who expelled 3 of the musicians from a Florida high school 10 years ago for wearing long hair. 3 members of the group, including its leader, Ronnie Van Zant, were among the 6 people killed in this crash. Some of the 20 survivors said several members of the group had argued against taking the plane. Investigators said the plane ran out of gas and crashed 200 yards short of where the pilot had hoped to set it down.
Tennessee River down in Muscle Shoals got its name from the Cherokee, as the story goes. They called it the Singing River, and I heard it sing before, as the lonesome waves come to the shore. When Skinner's free bird fell from the sky, Ronnie and Steve and 4 more would die. I was down at the Shoals by the Tennessee when I got that tragic news. Me and that singing river sing the blues. Singing river, sing a sad song, sing about the ones that are gone. It's so hard to carry on, don't mind being alone. Singing river, sing a sad song, it feels like something's wrong. Singing river, sing a sad song, singing river, sing me a sad song. Whoa, sing me a sad song. Rick and Barry and Jimmy J have all gone away, but their music's played somewhere every day. Muscle Shoals just ain't the same without those players around. Singing river, sing me a mournful sound. Singing river, sing a sad song, sing about the ones that are gone. It's so hard to carry on, don't mind being alone. Singing river, sing a sad song, singing river, sing a sad song, singing river, sing me a sad song. Whoa, singing river, sing a sad song, sing about the ones that are gone. It's so hard to carry on, don't mind being alone. Singing river, sing a sad song, it feels like something's wrong. Singing river, sing a sad song, singing river, sing me a sad song. Oh, sing me a sad song. The Tennessee River down at Muscle Shoals got its name from the Cherokee, as the story goes.